Welcome to the Athlete's Health Podcast here today. Just our conversation, in-studio conversation. Should be a pretty fun one. Also testing some stuff out, so I thought today's a good topic, for the business. And just everything else would be testing stuff out. So this could be life, this can be in anything, especially sports or athletics. Angie, what do you have to take on this? For instance, just a couple ideas that I had, because it's going to be a very short episode, because we're testing things out for the later weeks. Like testing out a new play, a new move, a new exercise in the weight room to get stronger, a new tactic for the mental game to elevate our success and our performance. A lot of different things to test out. What are your thoughts?
I think let's just stick with soccer because that makes the most sense in my head. So, especially going into a new role as like a head coach, that's super new. So, you don't really know who you're going to have. So I think taking like that into account, so just trying out, so for the first one, I'd say like trying out a formation. So, formation, if people don't know soccer, you usually have a goalie. You could do a 4-4-2, a 3-4-3, a 4-5-1. Like, there's so many formations, but you really don't know what you're gonna get until you see like who you have and like kind of take inventory of like what are all the skills that you have like presented to you and how can you like best assort them to be able to like achieve the goal that you want at the end.
So you're using a soccer term in the formations and testing the different ones out.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good way to look at it.
Mm.
I'm just thinking too, we're testing out these little mics.
And I love them. They're so small.
Yeah, well, I think it's how we're going to be moving the studio, go around places. But yeah, so that's another test out version. I like that. You test it out. So then 2 ways to think about this, because I'm putting this in terms to everything that I'm thinking of here. You test something out, goes good, or it doesn't go good. How do you handle it on the spot?
I think that like is kind of a testament to like who you are as a person. Like if things don't work out, are you a glass half full person or a glass half empty person? I think that's an old like analogy, but at the same time, like I'm relatively a super positive person. So like I always think, and I think I've gone through a lot, especially playing Division I soccer and all of that, that you kind of take what's handed to you and you can either just derail your progress that you've made this whole time, or you can take it as like a learning opportunity and see like where you can learn to grow as like a person. So if something relatively bad, let's say, does happen and it's a setback, we kind of talked about this on the podcast that we did the other time, was that you kind of just have to look at it as like a
I was just going to say, they all blend together, so people aren't going to remember that one very much, so it's all good.
Yeah, but at the same time, like if something does go wrong, it's kind of your personality. Do you think of it as, I think of it as like, oh my gosh, like it's an opportunity to change. But I think somebody that has a different mindset could be like, oh, this is going to derail my progress. That's not fun.
So. You're talking about glass half full, half empty. That's definitely could be a mental topic here. When it applies to sports, or how can someone fill up their cup if they need to, that you've seen in your coaching, so you probably have to fill up cups. Or do they just dump out the cup and get some new stuff in it, or how are you using this to help them perform their best? I have a couple things I'm thinking of that we could definitely use, but getting your perspective on that one, because that's a common idea, I think, to try and get that cup full or not be half empty.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends on the person. So I think that's a really cool aspect of like a coaching job, is that you get to make personal relationships with like your athletes. And one girl, let's say, because I coach girls soccer, so I've seen like one girl, she gets her cup full by like giving like feedback, but positive feedback. So we're gonna go and be like, oh my gosh, that was such a great play, like good job. It's a lot of like good jobs, like compliments. That fills up her cup and makes her succeed in like what she does. Whereas another person, her cup gets full based off of like how can she improve. So I'm go into it and be like, obviously it's not a negative thing, like you suck at this, but at the same time it's like no, I think this is an area that like we could grow together and like help you improve. What are the steps to be able to do that? That's how her cup like becomes full. So I think that with the analogy, like not everybody's cup is the same. Like you're based on your personality or based on your person, like it changes throughout. And that's what I think is a cool aspect of coaching is you get to learn like which cup is which and like how can I succeed as a coach to be able to get everybody's cup as full as they can be to like progress towards the common goal that like we have. Because you don't want to like fill up somebody's cup could be full, but you're not doing it correctly. And so it's like, are you gonna get the best out of that person to succeed to like the goal that they want to achieve? But yeah, I think everybody's cup is different.
All right, yeah. So you're saying some are mugs, some are wine glasses, some are regular. No, that's the truth. They're different cups.
That's a good one.
Well, I know this is what I do. Thank you, though. Thank you. No, but on a real note, no, that's true, and I think that's a good way to put it in and help, like what we're doing here, help coaches use this stuff to elevate the mental game and the overall performance.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good way to look at it. Different cups for different things, for different people. Now, the last probably point on this before we wrap it up, as we're keeping this one super short today. How can someone try out the new thing, try out whatever it is they're thinking of, or if they see something they want to try out, right? We're trying new things here. That's the topic that we came up with. And even in two more regards, it's one thing to do it at practice. It's one thing to do it when no one's watching. It's another thing to do it then at practice when it's competitive or in the actual game to try it out. So what are the levels to trying things out? And then probably like last time, I'll reiterate your response to something we can totally apply to anything.
Yeah. Honestly, my advice would be just like go for it. Like I'm all about, I've had people kind of hinder like what I want to do or get opinions on like, no, I shouldn't do this or yes, I should do this. I think it's just personal. Like I'm like, might as well go for it. And if it doesn't work out, then that's like lessons learned or that it's like a new skill unlocked. Like why would you not, if you try bending a ball in the upper 90 every shot and it works out, why would we not use that? You know what I mean? But if it doesn't work out, like, hey, at least we tried it. But at the same time, you got to be kind of real with yourself. Like, if you try it a million times and it doesn't work out, like, not that we have to like disregard it, but okay, now let's go to the next steps of how can we tweak it to work out. Like, okay, let's take this approach or let's shoot it with your right foot, not your left foot. You want to get better at your left foot, totally. But at the same time, like we also want to win a game. So I think practice is perfect. Like I love trying new things at practice. At the same time, if you try it in a game and it works out, like how is that not like exciting? But at the same time, you kind of got to pick your battles and like pick your moments. Are you gonna, as a smart defender, am I gonna do this crazy move or whatever to get past this person when I'm the last line of defense? Like, no. But at the same time, am I going to try and practice? Probably. Because I'm like, you also just want to keep it like fun and exciting. And if you keep it mundane the whole practice or the whole game or whatever, it's like, why am I even like here? I'm here to get better. And I'm here to like have fun and enjoy the sport, which is what it's about. So why would I not try new things to be able to like enjoy the experience is my take.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you gotta try it when you can, but then only if you're trying it out, mix it in with some stuff that still works.
Yeah.
So then you can probably keep yourself feeling all right too about it too. So you're not totally down when it doesn't work every time.
Yeah, and I feel like that like goes into their like you don't want to degrade like their progress that they're making. Like yes, they do this wonderful thing or whatever, but at the same time, if it doesn't work out, some people get like down about themselves and you don't want to feel like that. So it's like you kind of got to pick your battles on like when you try it and when you don't, but I'm all for just going for it.
Yeah, and pick the battle, see when it is, see when the battle is, where it is.
Yeah. But then that's also like if you do it and the battle turns out horribly, you're like, okay, at least I gained the knowledge of like I'm not ever doing that again in that situation. And like you'd be surprised, especially in soccer and I'm sure with a lot of other sports, like situations are similar. Like you're kind of always which like I always bring up Kai, but he always talks about like you're kind of always in like a 2v1 state or like a 2v2. And it's not like the whole 11v11, yes, like you're all on the same field, but at the same time, like you're in your section and you're in like a 2v1 or a 2v2 almost all the time. So, or a 3v2. So like you break it down into like little sections. So it's like, when the, like, I shouldn't say, you learn to like gain the understanding of like when you're in those moments. And so when it comes up again, you're like, I definitely am not going to do the same thing that I did. But that's also like a learning opportunity as well.
Yeah, the 2v1, 2v2, 3v2, Coach Kai. I haven't heard that one before. That's a good one to add to the arsenal.
It's great. I'm going to use it for sure. Thanks.
Yeah. No matter what you're looking at, no matter what you're using, you can put
like break it down. Yeah.
That's a good thing to try new things out. No, it's just to that level instead of the whole field.
Yeah.
And the one other thing that I wanted to put forth on this topic before it would get wrapped up is that you just finished reading a book. What was it? The 5-Second Rule. Who's the author?
Mel Robbins.
Mel Robbins. That's what I thought it was. I didn't fully remember.
Yeah, she's great. She also has a podcast too.
Yeah, it was like number 1.
Yeah, it was great.
So we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
But topic around that to just try things out. I think that's a big one. I know I catch this one quite a lot too for myself.
That's
is
a
when
great
you
point.
don't do it right away.
Yeah.
And implement it and you go do it.
It
maybe
lingers.
you plan a little bit just so you know you're not jumping into shark infested water, but you're just jumping into the pool.
Yeah.
You just have to jump. But because if you don't, then you'll start to have all those thoughts and then start thinking, and then it won't actually happen, or
it'll lead into like other stuff too. Like then you'll start doubting yourself on like other
the
situations.
performance goes down.
Yeah.
It's not jumped, taken right away.
Yeah.
To try out the thing.
Yeah.
Stuff, whatever it is. So I think that was maybe the last piece I wanted to end on. So
yeah,
we can keep going on more things too, but we just had
we talked for a long time.
We just had filling up a cup. I think that's the overall topic was trying things out. We had filling up a cup. We had cutting it back, cutting it down, and doing it right away.
Yeah, within the 5 seconds.
Count to 3, go do it, and then reassess later.
Yeah.
I think those are some actionable takeaways to go use right away in the actual performance, tying it to the mental game here.
And make sure you do reassess. Because you don't want to just do something and not understand why you did it or what happened after. So.
Yep, I call that part of my 3 R's. Reflection, gotta do it. Reassess, reflection, same thing. Gotta make sure it's happening.
To grow, for sure.
Getting better. Let's see, you got anything else for us today? Angela Knies?
I don't think so.
No?
Love being here.
Yeah, we do have to do this more often. Like I said, so far the only 2 times we've done this is testing things out.
Yeah.
So,
but it's growing.
We'll have to make this happen more often, sitting down like this and doing it.
Yeah.
And otherwise, getting this message out like this one, super actionable, pretty short, not too long, for coaches, athletes, parents even, to use. When this comes out, the Facebook page will be
let's go.
a week old. Join up.
Join it.
A few more things going. You'll see some stuff in the next couple of weeks from this test. And I think that's all with the athlete's health. Anything else?
I don't got anything.
Nope. Catch you later.
Bye.
It's a little longer than I thought. Adding this one in here super fast just because I forgot to put this one piece in there. But it's just the concept that this whole mental game, the whole mental coach, mental performance coach, is honestly, for the whole industry, a test. Not compared to like personal training. Personal training has been tried, tested, and true. But the mental game, almost everyone I talk to about it maybe says, yes, it's very needed. But they don't know anyone doing it. Now, as I dive deeper and deeper in the niches, I'm surrounded by more and more people doing it. But when you take a step back, it is not commonly treaded water, which is why we can help so many more athletes, teams, coaches, parents with the mental game. Just like you can go to any gym and find a personal trainer now. Try to make that the same for the mental game. It starts with the athlete's health. So let's keep growing together.